Okay, it looks like we're back. My apologies. Got cut off there, so we're going to carry on. Taking a look at what we were going to do. Just a reminder again. Go to the email so everybody can look at it and have themselves reminded. What we're going to do if there are too few stocks in the portfolio. So if that's the case, then I'm simply going to add one stock. And I'll just show you how I would go about adding that. So let's say, again, here's your allocation of funds. I'm just going to do this in a new tab. Here's your allocation of funds. And you had done this for all of your stocks, but just not for the 20th stock. So you didn't actually have 20 stocks. Making up your million. You only had 19. Again, it's kind of an unfair advantage to not do all the stocks, because if you some people would have been forced to choose a 20th stock they didn't necessarily want to, whereas you're just choosing not to participate in that. So again, what I would have done, or what I would do, I'm just going to adjust this a little bit so it's sort of evenly distributed. So you only have, say, $50,000 in each. Here's your cash. Then in week 3, and let's just say everything went up by 5%. Well, no, I won't even do that. Not even necessary to do that. All I would do then is I would go, great, I'm going to add a 20th stock here. And the way I'm going to add that 20th stock, I'm going to add this stock right here, and I will take it from your cash. So if you have 50,000 or more in cash, then I would simply go, whoop, thank you very much, that cash is mine. And there's your total. What happens though if you didn't have $50,000 of cash? So let's go back to the scenario that we had before, and we'll put in, let's say that you only had $20,000 of cash. So what you would, so we'll redistribute this to make it a little bit. So $20,000 would have meant you'd spent $980,000 on these securities. And now we're going to do an example with week 3. And we're going to say, all right, all of these went up by 1.1%. Your cash would have stayed the same. Well, the truth is, you should have initially purchased a 20th stock. So again, what I would do, the adjustment that I end up making is this. I make that 20th stock VOO, and I buy $50,000 of it. So I take this down to 0, but I also sell shares in these stocks make up that $30,000. So I would, your new adjustment would here would be this. We needed $30,000. We're dividing that amongst 19 stocks. So then I would, my formula contains an error. Oh, right, yeah, you can't have a comma in there. So now the value of these stocks, because I would have sold some shares in order to make up the difference. So again, it would be somewhat detrimental to you, but unfortunately, that's just kind of the way things would have unfortunately gone. In order to get this $50,000 here, and it might not be worth $50,000. I would have taken the price of VOO at this date here. All right, so let's go back now. Okay, the next one, looks like things are a little yellow in my world. The next one that we wanted to look at, too many stocks in the portfolio. So this one, I would have just, again, done the same thing. I would have sold shares and then taken that money and put it into VOO. So same as before, as with not enough shares, too many shares, I would have just gone, great. Well, I'll show you. Probably best to show you. So again, this one's a little bit more complex, the adjustment on it. I just want to walk you through it. So here, let's say that you had instead purchased 21 stocks. I'm just going to create a space here. I'm just going to clear this out. We might need this later. So you bought 21 stocks, and you spread this out amongst 21. I don't know if any, or we're going to say you had 0 cash left. Actually, maybe I'll do it 22 just to illustrate. What we were going for here. So yeah, you'd initially bought 22 stocks, spent $1 million on it. Your cash would have been 0. We're not going to worry about this total down here. So what we need to do is we need to get rid of 2 stocks. So I'm just going to do this kind of randomly here. So let's say that this returned return 10%. So great, 10% return. We're happy with that. Why don't we make this easy? So 10%, and I'm just going to sort of randomly do this. All the way down to here. So these are your returns. So how am I going to decide which stocks I would get rid of? So this is what your returns were. Great. What I would do then, I need to get rid of 2 stocks and use that to buy VOO, right? Because I'm going to buy shares now of VOO. So I need 50,000, essentially need, yeah. Well, it's not a need, I'm just getting rid of stocks. So I get rid of your worst performing stock first. So that's this one right here. And that would get me down to 20. So I'd put that much for 5. Or actually, I would just, this is actually what I would do. I would get rid of this one. I would get rid of this one. That was your best performing. And then I would recalculate everything, put in VOO. Put in VOO with the remainder of your money. We've got a roundabout. So yeah, that's basically how I would do it. I don't think anybody falls into that category, so I'm not terribly worried about it. Excuse me here for a second. Great. Let's go back and let's keep taking a look through this email in case there's anything else that we need to explain. I think that was really the big ones that I needed to explain. So yeah, the quizzes. All right, the quizzes. All right, the quizzes are, I'm just gonna go and show you where the quizzes are in Moodle really quickly so that you so that you are aware of it. So this will be a little weird right now. No, that's not the one I want. And that's not the one I want either. Pardon me. Let's go into there. Okay. Now we know what we want. So I want to show you this, and I don't know how many people actually knew this. So here's your Moodle page. And I'm just going to switch my role as if I was a student. So this is what your Moodle page looks like. And you've got this one part way down towards the bottom. So here's what you're doing next week and then the last week. And you've got quizzes and exams. So you need to have these 2 quizzes completed by the last day of class, or by the end of the course. So by the end of the day on the 23rd. These 2 quizzes are based on questions in the book, study guide questions, and guess what? All those study guide questions are actually here for you to practice. So it should be fairly straightforward and fairly easy to go through. So that's available. Let's go take a look at the rest of this email here. Let's go take a look at the rest of the email here. All right. Too many things open. So one thing I've suggested of the action plans, think about your entries as well as your exits as well as your entries. There are self-reflections, and they've been good so far. I've been really pleased and really happy with that. So after all this negative stuff of here's what we're going to do in the buy and hold, it's really nice to see this. The videos are in the process of uploading. It does take a while for them to upload, but I've got a few videos that I've prepared to kind of help you through chapter 19, or that handout. And again, just for a reminder, perhaps there's some other videos, lots of places you can get option strategy stuff. A reminder for you in terms of options and what you're supposed to read. And again, I'm just going to show this to you in Moodle. I sent this out, I believe, to the class much earlier in the semester. It was essentially chapter 19 and chapter 20 from your textbook. So this is going to be a lot of what the final is testing you on. And lo and behold, we actually, under copyright law, we're able to do this and do these for you. So it's not the greatest, but these are the chapters that you need to read. And they're right there in Moodle for you. So yeah, you can do that, and that's a lot of what the final is going to be on. I'm mostly going to just go over chapter 19. We don't worry too much about futures here in this course. All right, and then the last thing was the gradebook. So I have updated grades. They don't include quiz grades yet. Now keep in mind, the grades are very, very high at this point, but keep in mind that 3/4 of your grade strictly is reflecting the 15% you get for the course requirement. So obviously, when we get to the end of the semester, you're going to get your buy and hold grade, you're going to get your active trading grade, and that makes up a large portion of the course. You're going to get your trading diary and trading journal grade. That makes up a lot of the course. And of course, the final grade. So the grades in this course, really a lot of, they coalesce right towards the end of the course. So do be wary of that. Other than that, doesn't look like we have anybody in the room. So everybody's going to be watching this afterwards. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, make sure Google Hangouts on air. That's the important one for the final. You need to have that. Otherwise, without recording that, you get a 0. All right. Other than that, I hope this was helpful for you, and we will talk to you soon.